Industry impact. The exposure of the deed fraud ring had a profound impact on the real estate industry in the metropolitan area, increased trust and security. The new measures restored trust in the real estate market, reassuring both buyers and sellers that the industry was actively combating fraud. The revelation of the fraud ring prompted authorities and industry stakeholders to implement new measures to enhance security and restore trust in the real estate market. These measures were designed to provide assurance to both buyers and sellers that steps were being taken to actively combat fraudulent activities within the industry. By addressing vulnerabilities and implementing safeguards, stakeholders aim to create a more secure environment for real estate transactions, thereby fostering confidence among market participants. Example: following the revelation of the fraud ring, real estate agencies and governing bodies implemented new security measures such as enhanced verification processes for property ownership documents and stricter authentication protocols for transactions. Buyers and sellers regained confidence in the real estate market, knowing that these measures were actively combating fraud, which in turn facilitated smoother transactions and reduced the fear of being defrauded. Market stabilization. Initially, there was a temporary dip in market activity as buyers became cautious. However, the market stabilized as the new safeguards were put in place and public confidence was restored. Initially, the exposure of the fraud ring led to a temporary dip in market activity as buyers and sellers became cautious amid concerns about the integrity of transactions. However, as the new safeguards were put in place and public confidence was gradually restored through increased transparency and accountability, the market stabilized. The stabilization of the market underscored the importance of addressing fraudulent activities promptly and effectively to maintain the overall health and stability of the real estate industry. Example: initially, there was a downturn in market activity as buyers and sellers adopted a cautious approach in response to the fraud scandal. However, as the new safeguards were introduced and public confidence gradually returned, the market stabilized. This stabilization was evident in the gradual increase in transactions and the return of normal market dynamics as the measures took effect and their effectiveness became apparent. Professional accountability. Real estate professionals now face higher expectations for vigilance and accountability. The industry standards were raised, promoting a more diligent and ethical approach to real estate transactions. The incident prompted a reevaluation of professional standards and accountability within the real estate sector. Real estate professionals, including agents and brokers, now face higher expectations for vigilance and ethical conduct in their dealings with clients and transactions. The industry standards were raised to promote a more diligent and responsible approach to real estate practices, emphasizing the importance of upholding integrity and adhering to regulatory requirements. Example: in the aftermath of the fraud exposure, real estate professionals faced heightened scrutiny and expectations regarding their diligence and ethical conduct. Industry standards were raised, leading to increased accountability among agents and brokers. This meant more rigorous due diligence in verifying property documents, ensuring compliance with regulations, and adopting best practices to prevent fraud. Additionally, regulatory bodies may have implemented stricter penalties or consequences for those found complicit in fraudulent activities, further reinforcing the importance of professional accountability. This case study serves as a vital learning tool for real estate professionals worldwide. It highlights the critical role that real estate agents and brokers play in detecting and preventing fraud. By staying informed, vigilant, and proactive, they can protect the integrity of real estate markets and ensure that the property buying and selling process remains secure and transparent for all parties involved. Overall, the exposure of the deed fraud ring served as a wake-up call for the real estate industry, prompting stakeholders to implement measures to enhance trust, stabilize the market, and uphold professional accountability. It emphasizes the importance of collective efforts to combat fraud and maintain the integrity of real estate transactions for the benefit of all stakeholders involved. Inconsistencies in documentation. Inconsistencies in documentation can be a significant indicator of potential deed fraud. Here are some common discrepancies to look out for. 1. Mismatched information. If details on the deed do not match public records or previous documents associated with the property, such as different spellings of a name or incorrect property descriptions, it should raise a red flag. 2. Altered documents. Signs of tampering, such as misaligned text, different fonts, or irregular formatting, suggest that the document may have been altered. 3. Inconsistent signatures. Variations in signature style compared to other legal documents signed by the same parties can indicate forgery. Professional verification may be necessary to confirm suspicions. 4. Absence of witness or notary signatures. Deeds typically require witness and notary signatures to validate the identity of the signatories. Their absence can be a sign of fraud. Professionals should compare the suspicious deed with other documents filed in the same jurisdiction or consult with legal experts when inconsistencies are found. Scenario: during a routine property sale in a suburban area, a real estate agent named Michael reviews the deed provided by the seller. He notices that the property description on the deed doesn't match the legal description listed in previous sales documents and current public records. Specifically, the boundaries described do not include a recent addition to the property that was registered 2 years ago. Action: Michael contacts the local land records office to obtain official maps and previous deeds for the property. After confirming the discrepancy, he alerts the buyer and advises pausing the transaction. A professional surveyor is called in to verify the property boundaries, and an attorney reviews the deed's legal standing. Outcome: the investigation reveals that the deed presented by the seller was altered to exclude the recent property addition, which was under a separate title dispute. The sale is halted, preventing the buyer from purchasing a property with unclear legal boundaries and potential legal issues.